Hey everybody, this is Beard, and for this week's update on the Icarus shaders, I added a lot of IPBR support, which means doing PBR, like physically based rendering for things that don't even have textures. And I added a lot of support for ArdaCraft, which is a Lord of the Rings server, and MODPACK that adds lots of cool buildings and landscapes, and does really good stuff with Conquest Reforged. So almost all of those plants, I think all of those plants have support. And I added support for a bunch of metals and glass, and I want to add full porosity support so that stone versus wood and dirt and stuff will have different ways it reacts to rain. Didn't get that done yet. I'm going to show some pictures, and I tried to make some videos, but I'm not going to do that today. This is the IPBR support, making the glass reflective. This isn't doing the generated normal maps. If you do those as well, you get all this nice like speckling on the glass. There's nothing in the glass. Lighting, there's some more glass. They're just testing. There's so many variants of glass. On this one, it looks like I've got it on the sides and on these little slabs and all this stuff. So I made some code that goes through and generates every possible variant so I could list them all. I just kind of went around a little bit and seen how it works. Here's the glass with the generated normals. They're set pretty strong, but I kind of like that. That's all adjustable. Here's the entryway to the server, and here's some building stuff, and all these plants blow in the wind and everything. It's just a really pretty server. I see the light kind of scatters through all the leaves and everything. What I try to do is I try to compare to Bliss and to whatever other shader ships with the mod pack. It is Rethinking Voxels, maybe. Forgive me if I'm wrong. This was Bliss, I think. Maybe not. Maybe that was no shader, because that doesn't look good. And then this is with Icarus. This is Bliss right here, which does a very good job. And then here's Icarus. I'm trying to compare to what it ships with. This is Bliss, and its water is way better than mine. Its clouds are way better too. Here's Icarus. Looks very bright in this scene. I think Bliss does better there. I think my bounce light and stuff is a little better. Here's Icarus. There's Icarus. The rest might just be Icarus. But I just really like, especially when the wind is blowing and it's all moving. So it's really pretty. I had the wrong resource pack loaded there. Let's see. And I also did some fixes to change how the paintings and stuff are lit. But you get some good global illumination in these spots. So here's Rethinking Voxels. And here's Icarus. There it is with the same exact scene. So that's the recommended shader, and then here's Icarus. It's a recommended one, which it does do those nice shadows that are really crisp on things. And then here's Icarus. Rethinking Voxels, again, you can see it actually has those shadows that shape stuff. And then here's Icarus. I think it does a good job. This was checking two different settings. And then this is Rethinking Voxels, I think. Or Bliss, I'm not sure which. This is probably Bliss. This is Rethinking Voxels. Maybe. Yeah, because I see a shadow here. And then here's Icarus on one setting and another setting. I think it does pretty good. Okay, I think this is Icarus. And that might be Rethinking Voxels. And just some more PBR tests and just kind of running around. It's a really beautiful server. So again, here's Bliss. And here's Icarus. There's things Bliss does better. There's things I'm just using it as a comparison because it's got incredibly good support for Conquest Reforged. And I think it does better clouds and fog and volumetrics than me right now for big landscapes. So I really want to keep myself grounded and do comparisons to what people's expectations are. So again, here's Bliss with the kind of more blue light. And then here's Icarus. And here's some more Icarus. I just had a lot of fun going around here. Walking around. I'll do a video later, I guess. And again, the global illumination, I think, does a really good job. and some of these scenes are really pretty. I really recommend checking out the ArdaCraft server. Here it is. It's some beautiful work by the very dedicated people on there doing all the architecture and the landscapes, and all the people making the textures and the Conquest Reforged pack as well. Like it's really impressive and fun. So I really wanted to make the shader work better with this stuff, and I think it's doing a lot better than it was, and I think that it can get some really good visuals. But it really also shows me where I need to improve things, which is a lot with the water and the skies. Here's an example of the integrated PBR. You can change the roughness. So these metals are really rough. The glass is really shiny. This block is missing for some reason. You see there with the generated normals and everything on it too. And then just some other stuff. I was testing the stained glass to see if it does better. You see the light coming up off of those and through the glass. It's doing a good deal better. Here's just some test shots. You can see that the light is colored going through the glass. It wasn't doing that earlier. Here's just some more test shots. And I think that's it. So hope everyone has fun. I would recommend check out ArdaCraft, and I'll try to get some more of these bugs and some more other stuff done before the end of the month if I can. But we'll see what we get.